So you're the proud owner of a Z300 Series John Deere zero turn. And I mean, the thing's a beauty, but we can upgrade it a little bit more by putting a big league lawn striper kit on there. And if you want to get stripes at your house, like the baseball fields or some of these other popular YouTubers, you're going to want to put one of these on there. And today we got Nathaniel from the Big League Lawns company. He's one of the designers here, and he's the one that helped design the one for this actual machine. So Nathaniel's going to show us what comes in the box and how to assemble all these brackets. That way there's no questions. And he's going to make it very simple for us because it is a very simple job. So Nathaniel, thanks for being on the channel, and the floor is yours.
Thanks, Clint. So first things first, guys, I want to go over the hardware that you're going to receive with the striper. So along with the striper in the box, you're going to receive another smaller paper box that has an assortment of hardware in here. This hardware is your mounting arm hardware. So it's an assortment of plates that will be bolted together and that will form your mounting arms. And once you're done assembling these mounting arms, they will look like this. Now, once you have these mounting arms assembled like this, you'll go back into that bag and you'll retrieve another smaller baggie. And these are what we call our pivot bolts. So this entire thing is called a pivot bolt, that whole thing. And what we do with this is we utilize it to attach the machine, but not only that, it allows the pivot arm of the striper's mounting arm to continue to pivot. In order to install our pivot bolts correctly, you'll remove the locking nut and the two flat washers, and then you'll take your small Allen key and remove the locking collar. From here, we'll feed the pivot bolt through the mounting arm and replace that locking collar. This locking collar, this is an important aspect of this. We need this to be tight as it can be, but it also needs to continue to be freely pivoting. So you can see that's a little too tight. So I'm going to loosen it up and give it a teensy bit more space to allow that pivot arm to continue to have that pivoting functionality. So now we're fully spinning, but we're also fully secure. That's not going anywhere. So from here, we'll do a flat washer, and then your mower's frame, then another flat washer on the interior of the frame, and then you'll finally secure it with the lock nut. And we'll get to this in a second. All right, so now that we've got our mounting arms assembled and the pivot bolts in the pivot hole of the pivot arm, and you've removed your two flat washers and your lock nut, and you've identified the hole that we're going to be mounting on the side of this Z300, which is this hole right here, above this existing bolt, it's closer to the rear of the machine, this hole right here. So as is, this hole is just barely too small to accommodate our pivot bolt. It's really just the paint on the interior of the hole, so we just gotta scrape that off basically with a 3/8 drill bit. So a few rotations of a drill bit, and that will be plenty, at which point we will get a flat washer on our pivot bolt, and we'll feed the pivot bolt into the frame, and then we will place a flat washer on the inside of the pivot bolt, and we will get our nut and we will tighten that down. All right, so now that we've got our mounting arms installed to the frame, we're gonna leave them like that, and we're gonna actually utilize them hanging there. It's gonna make the install easier. This way, we get them on the frame first versus the striper. This way you don't have to fight the weight of the striper while you're trying to perform the install. So, now that we're ready, we take our roller and we center it behind the machine. And how I do that is I use the center of the label on the roller and the center of your machine, so this John Deere logo looks like a good spot. So we'll go ahead and line that up, and then we'll bring the striper closer to the machine and we'll swing these mounting arms out. And these mounting arm holes, these L bracket holes, will tell you exactly where the channel nut in your channel needs to be placed. So these can slide, they can go anywhere in the channel. You're gonna go ahead and just line those up with your mounting arms and remove the bolt and split lock washer. From there, we'll line it up and we'll go ahead and feed that bolt through the L bracket into our channel nut, and we will hand tighten it. And we'll hand tighten all 4 of these bolts. Get the striper kind of mocked up behind the machine. And then once these are all 4 of these bolts are hand tightened, at that point, you're gonna do your last double check. Make sure that the striper is centered exactly where you want it on the mower and that you're confident with your install. And once you are, you can go ahead and start tightening down those bolts. Tighten them all the way. And then once you're done, you're ready to stripe your yard.
And that's how you do it. This stripe kit goes on the Z300 Series for the John Deere, and it's easy peasy, guys. So I want to say thank you to Big League Lawns. Nathaniel, thank you very much for showing us how to do that. Very simple. And if you guys are looking to upgrade your lawn game and get stripes like a baseball field, you're gonna want one of these. I'll leave a link down below. There'll be a little discount code of 10%. That'll save you a few bucks on here. And yeah, let's start striping, baby. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.